Alright, let's talk about a pile of shit. This is Secret Defenders 15, beginning a new run on the title and a new direction. It is written by Tom Brevoort. You might not have known, but Tom Brevoort wrote comics before he locked in on a powerful editorial staff position. There's nothing good about this though. It's not just the writing. I think it is the case that when you have got a writer this rubbish, everything else is dragged down to a certain level. The cover is rotten. Luke Cage's, the way that Luke Cage's is drawn here, it is close to propagating some racist ideas about black people. But in its defence, it's also the best piece of art on the cover. We open with fucking tarot cards. Tarot cards, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a relatively newcomer to my antics, you might not know, but I established a rule very early on that any comic that features tarot cards is automatically bad. Our game changer here is that Doctor Strange, he can no longer lead the Defenders. This isn't a bad thing, really. Before this, the book was a really rubbish team-up thing. Doctor Strange would gather a group of random characters to go against some mystical threat he has detected. It was never good. Don't get the impression that Tom Brevoort has come along and ruined this series. It was always crap, and it somehow got crapper. Doctor Strange, he can no longer lead the team, even though he never really led them. He only gathered them. But he can no longer even do that, due to events in his title. We are dealing with that run by the knobhead who made Faust, Love of the Damned. The one where Doctor Strange becomes discount Spawn, and we have nonsense plots mixed with rape plots. If you were hopeful, Secret Defenders might be where you can read Doctor Strange stories that are rape-free. You are going to be horrifically disappointed on both fronts. Doctor Strange is relinquishing his command of the non-team over to Dr. Doom, who looks fucking atrocious. We're seeing over in the Capwolf story, we had Dr. Doom in the younger body with hair and a ponytail and whatnot. Well, this takes that and makes it even worse. Now he has an actual, physically revolting, top-knot, plait ponytail. Fucking grim. I will do Tom Brevoort a favour, not much of one, but I actually won't talk about the long-term rape fantasy that he develops as a subplot because it isn't acknowledged or revealed yet. There's a tease of it on here. But don't worry, he still has Dr. Doom abuse his control over people in this one more than a few times. The sad thing is, I think this direction could work. And in the Defenders over to Dr. Doom. The team itself, the Dr. Doom team, that was introduced in an issue of Kazar. Marky Mark J created the idea of Dr. Doom leading an occult team of weird heroes. And the Defenders team he leads is an extension of that. We'll be seeing how little of that team from Kazar was carried across by Tom Brevoort quickly. But I honestly think this could have worked. And it is the most exciting that Secret Defenders could get. It's not just Tom Brevoort, though. You've got to turn this page sideways to read, which I fucking love doing. And it's not just the writing, it's really not. The art is shockingly well below what should be the standard. This giant double-page spread is utter trash. Trash composition, trash communication, just woefully inept. Then we get to our team. And one character we carry across from Kazar, the only one, is Shadow Woman, or Sepulture. Why is she wearing a washed out version of Jennifer Drew's Spider-Girl costume? We never find out. That was something Marky Mark G obviously had an answer for and a story to tell. But Tom Brevoort sees no value in the one woman on the team besides robbing her of any consent and converting her into an actual cock puppet for Dr. Droom. Shadow Woman, or Sepulture, first appeared in that Kazar story. We don't find out much about her there either. I would assume this is purely speculation. Marky Mark was intending to tie her into the time Jennifer Drew died and was erased from everyone's memories in Spider-Girl issue 50, a comic that he edited. We dropped the other members of the team, Living Mummy, Atomic Skull. We dropped them off panel, and we established that Dr. Doom was mind controlling them anyway. They were only on the team through the typical rapey use of his powers. He was mentally enslaving them into being his allies. Over here is casual Shadow Woman Sepulture. She also has disgusting hair, but please pay attention to her, how she is drawn, and even her necklace. Don't pay attention to the foreshadowing to the reveal that Dr. Droom keeps her bound to a golden statue and only ever summons her forth for sex. Pay attention to how she is drawn and what she is wearing. We cut to a bar, and then we have... This is her, right? This is her. It's the exact same woman. It's the same character. She has the same necklace, more or less. She looks the same. This has to be the same character. Anyone reading this would 100% be of the mindset that this is Shadow Woman Sepulture, and she has gone to a bar to recruit people for Dr. Droom, just like that scene before set up. No, this is a different character. This is the fucking villain. This is our introduction to the villain. Completely indistinguishable from one of the heroes. Tom Brevoort isn't to blame for this. I will say it's a shit way to debut the villain, but the chief problem is that the artwork absolutely flunks the assignment. She is called Malachi, and she actually got an Andy book profile in the 2000s. Just a half-pager, and I'm showing it so in part you can see her in costume and understand better that the artist could have had her dressed like that to make it clear to everyone that it isn't Shadow Woman Sepulture. Back to criticising the writing. Luke Cage's... I thought I would read to you some of Tom Brevoort's dialogue for Luke Cage's, like, gotta thank the guy who gave me the tip-off about this rip-off, and back off unless you're looking for a one-way ticket to a world of hurt. That is Luke Cage's, and if you think that is bad... We have his dead pills, which is a nightmare. and another abomination of a splash page too. The pair of heroes are at a museum. There is a theft at a museum, and Dr. Druid uses this as a means to recruit them. He, again, uses his mental powers to make them agree to work for him. He convinces them that he is paying them, and then he brags about how he is controlling them to shatter woman's sepulture. This is absolutely how not to write a team or a hero. Who are you meant to like in this? Our lead character, Dr. Druid, is a very famous arsehole. Not entirely Tom Brevoort's fault. He has inherited Dr. Druid's dodgy history, but he has decided to make that his entire personality now. Shadow Woman's sepulture. She is later revealed to be dead, and now only summoned forth to be a warmer for Dr. Druid's dick. Dead Pills is annoying, and both he and Luke Cage's aren't even acting of their own accord. They basically have no agency. And I actually love Luke Cage's on Defenders. I would be down for him showing up as part of this other team, Dr. Druid's Defenders. But like with everything in this run, it's horrid and garbage. Another of things Tom Brevoort can't do is establish a plot. We've not really got one so far. Well, this is meant to be like an exposition page, and we still don't get much of one. There is a magic gem that they must stop from falling into Malachi's hands. Then they are attacked by Malachi. We really didn't need that earlier scene with her in the bar. The scene that only confuses people. You could do with establishing her that early on, but fuck, this is just so shite. When you have a person more known for editing as writer, you expect the story to be done correctly. It's a script that you expect them to be questionable at. An editor by rights understands a story, a narrative theory, and things like a 3-act structure and shit like that. But when Tom Brevoort writes, it's so unbelievably bad at telling a story. And then the rest is bad too. It's not that he's dreadful at plot or structure. He is bad at every part of writing. We end with the fucking tarot cards again. Dr. Druid is the fool. Thanks, I already thought he was an arsehole. Well, he's a fool too. Most of you fully expected there was no chance in hell that I would offer any praise towards a Tom Brevoort written comic. But I think you need to understand how actually bottom of the barrel this is. There is nothing good in it. I said that at the start. I am not allowing my bias or dislike for the man cloud my judgment. I said if I could find one positive thing in it, that it would be saved from execution, and there isn't one. There's nothing good in here. There's characters or ideas from other books that could be good, but they're not because they're written by Tom Brevoort. He wrote 11 issues of this, so we're far from the end of this torture. He also has a co-writer for the whole thing, not even mentioned that. Person probably doesn't deserve it. I have to give this my lowest rating ever, 7 thumbs up.